I can remember well, it was 30 years ago. I got a telephone call on a Friday night. It was early January. Alice Ralston called me on a late Friday, and she had just finished a rehearsal with this new idea from a group called Midland Music Teachers Association.
Up until that time, we had an activity called Music Marathon. Alice Ralston and Barbie Heeshen had been involved with something like Keyboard Fest in their youth and had a very good vision on how we could implement it here in Midland.
The piano teachers of Midland area, having all their private students come together, a stage full of pianos from wall to wall, and students come in and they all play together at the same time, one tune. And I'm thinking, what have you got yourself into?
Barbara Heeshen, who was a member of our group, wanted to have what she called a monster concert, which soon became Keyboard Fest. So we opened up in January, it was January 5th, 1991, with 10 beautifully tuned Steinway pianos on stage for our students to play and our teachers to have a showcase.
Early on, Tim Hoy was approached by the Midland piano teachers because he was the Steinway dealer for Michigan and asked if he could supply the pianos for the event. And that we've been doing for probably all but maybe 5 of the Keyboard Fest events and have been so grateful to do that. Steinway & Sons feels like that's our part in supporting a great event like this, getting children to be excited and play the piano.
When we started out, we had no idea that this would be 30 years later, we'd still be doing this. Piano playing in and of itself is a very solo experience, and when you come to the Keyboard Fest, it's more of a group experience under the direction of a conductor. And I think that it's pretty safe to say that most of them had not ever done that before.
Very rarely in piano do you have a large audience or the opportunity to play in a group as a pianist. If you want to play in an orchestra, there's only one piano player. So what are the chances that's going to be you?
But it also taught them to listen to each other, because generally if you play and practice by yourself, you have no sense of having to be a team in the playing, like a band student would or an orchestra member. So this was very important to the students.
But typically across the country, this kind of an ensemble doesn't exist because it takes 13 grand pianos. And where are you going to find 13 grand pianos all on one stage? Here at Midland, Michigan, you will find it every January, and that's unique. It's rare and it's exciting.
The bringing of a lot of pianos 2 hours away from Detroit to Midland for this event is a considerable amount of effort and work, but we at Steinway & Sons enjoy it, and we look forward to it annually.
There are those faces that change. We've had students come through the system who are now parents, and the next generation is coming through. And likewise, we have a former student go through the system who's now a piano instructor. That's special.
I really enjoyed being a part of it as a student with Marianne as my teacher, and then putting students in it now just to see how much they enjoy it as well.
It's been wonderful for me to see. She has served as president of our organization and has done a wonderful job with co-chairing the Keyboard Fest. She's a fabulous teacher. It's just all good.
I played in the second Keyboard Fest back in 1992 and then played through high school up through 1997. And couldn't be happier to see all 4 of my kids in the Keyboard Fest this year. I think one thing I've appreciated in watching the kids go through piano lessons and play not only in Keyboard Fest but in the other recitals is learning how to make a mistake and then keeping going in spite of that. I learned that as a kid. You'll make mistakes throughout life and when you play the piano, you have to just keep going. I've seen them many times make mistakes and just slide right through it. And I think I appreciate how they feel because I lived through a lot of those moments as a kid myself.
It's fun to see the kids get a chance to become involved with some of this classical music so that when they graduate and go on, they can be either good listeners, good supporters of the arts, or even become musicians and piano teachers themselves as an avocation or a vocation.
I think the thing that really stands out is the smile on the kids' faces when they just performed in the concert, especially for the first time. It's like, it's gone well. And there's this big applause because there's so many people in the auditorium and they just don't get that anywhere else.
The sense of joy they had for being a part of it was contagious, and of course they couldn't wait till next year.
I think the students actually had fun when they were playing. I mean, if they made a mistake, it wasn't obvious because there were a lot of other pianos also playing, and they could enjoy that experience. I think they grew by doing that.
I would not have ever predicted when we did this in 1991 that we would still be doing it 30 years later.
My students love it.
It takes an awful lot of work by the piano teachers to make this all come together. And I'm really proud to be a part of this legacy and happy to be on that podium smiling at the kids as they smile through their pieces.
Those stage lights come up and those students perform. They put on a great show. It's really rewarding for me to be part of that.